Hi, Mike here from A1 Tint Kits, and in this video I'm going to show you how to tint the back window of your car with one of our pre-cut tint patterns. Now generally the back window of a car is the hardest window to tint just because of the curve and the size of it. Also sometimes it's difficult to gain access to it from the inside where we put the tint. So I'll try and be as detailed as I can. And by the end of the video, hopefully you'll know what you need to do to get your back window tinted. But before we get started on this, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the tools you're going to need to get the tint put on your car. All right, so here you can see all the tools that we're going to need to tint this back window. We may not need every one of them, but most of them we're going to use today. The first one is a handled squeegee. Now these squeegees come with different color blades in them, and what that means is it's just a different hardness of the blade. You'll see some that have a blue blade that's very hard, some have an orange blade. I prefer the clear blade. It's just softer, but it works really well, so that's what I use. If you don't have a handled squeegee, the yellow turbo will work. It's just going to take you a little bit longer to get the back window squeegeed out. So I recommend that you have a handled squeegee for that. It's just a lot easier when you're in there trying to tint the back window. This is a slammer. This is good for getting down in back corners. I also use it for cleaning the back window. So I recommend that you have something like that. This one here is a side swiper. Good for squeegeeing down in the back windows. You don't necessarily have to have this. Conqueror will work. It'll do the same thing, you know, it serves the same purpose, and it's about half the price of side swiper. So if you have one of those, that'll work. Next is a heat gun. Got to have a heat gun. There's going to be a lot of shrinking done on the back window. Some people say hair dryer, but a hair dryer will not work. You need a good heat gun for shrinking the back window, at least 1200 watts. Because there's going to be a lot of shrinking to do. A hair dryer just won't get hot enough to do it. Obviously a spray bottle with some mounting solution in it. Again, I filled it up to about here with water. I put about 12 drops of Johnson's baby shampoo. You can also use Joy dishwashing liquid if you like, but you're going to need some mounting solution in a spray bottle. This is a microfiber towel. I use this for final cleaning. We have a bounce dryer sheet here. This is used for shrinking the back window, and I'll show you how to use that. A white scrubby pad for cleaning the inside of the back window. We don't use a razor to clean the back window because of the defroster wires and the antenna wires and things like that, so we use a white scrub pad to do that. Also, we have a white card here. We may need that at the end for some touch-up work. Same thing with the pink card. You know, we may need to do some touch-ups, so we'll use that. Obviously you need some shop towels or paper towels, preferably shop towels like this. They have less length on them than regular paper towels, but paper towels will work if you're in a pinch and you don't have anything else. The gloves are for shrinking, and I'll show you how to do that when we start shrinking the back window. I like these gloves because they're fairly slick. You can see I've used them quite a bit. They're fairly slick and they move over the film nice and smooth. They don't stick on the film, so I wear those gloves kind of to protect myself from the heat of the heat gun, also to help kind of shrink down the film by hand. So I'll show you how I use those. Anyway, so that's the tools you'll need. I recommend that you have those before you get started. You really can't tint the window without a decent set of tools. So this at a minimum is what you're going to need to tint the back window. All right, so we'll start by cleaning the back window. We'll just use some shop towels and mounting solution for that. And we'll go ahead and wipe it down real good. Make sure we get all the dust and dirt off of it before we start heat shrinking the window film. So we'll get that clean there. Make sure you get the edges real good. All right, so that's pretty clean. Okay, so next, we talked about a bounce dryer sheet when we're looking at the tools, and I got that here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this bounce dryer sheet as like an anti-static coating for the back window for shrinking the film. You'll see some folks use wax or baby powder, things like that. I like to use the bounce dryer sheet. Seems to work pretty well for me, so we're going to use that in this video to shrink this back window. So I just get it wet with some mounting solution and then wipe the bounce dryer sheet on the back window like that. And when you're wiping, you'll see that the fabric softener comes out onto the back glass and has kind of a cloudy look to it. So you want to make sure the whole back glass is good and covered. All right. We'll do this side. Just a little bit of water on there and then wipe the bounce dryer sheet like that. Okay, good. All right, so that's going to take a few minutes to dry. I'll go get the film ready, and when I come back, that should be ready for us to put the film on and start shrinking. All right, so I've got our film here, and we've already put the bounce dryer sheet on, and it's dry now. It's got a good cloudy look to it. So we're ready to roll this film onto the back window. Now, how I do this is I take a shop towel, I get it good and wet, and I'll make a line right in the center about halfway down, like that. Okay, and then we'll unroll the film and lay it on the back window. Just like that, okay? And we'll line it up. Okay. Come over this way a little bit. All right. So we're pretty well lined up there. You can see the label is here. It says back glass. I can read that. So that means I have the film on the right side. The liner is up. Okay, and that's how we're going to shrink it like that. So I'll just press it down a little bit here. And we have our wet shop towel. And we'll just do what's known as a classic H pattern. We'll come over this way. Get this side wet, good and wet on that side to hold the film. Okay, like that. That's the way you want to set it up. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, good. All right. So notice that I've got the sides tacked down with some water. Okay, and I've got the top here tacked down just a little bit. The rest of it is loose on the glass, okay? And what we have is, we have the excess film kind of lined up here along the bottom and part of the top here, okay? Hopefully the camera's picking that up. So what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna heat shrink that down so the film fits the back glass and we shouldn't have any problem when we put it in. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. Put my gloves on. And get our heat gun going. So generally the way I like to do it is start on one side. I'll start here and kind of work my way around. And we'll get this shrunk down real well. Now, I just put a little bit of heat on it, and you get a reaction out of the film, and you just want to work it down towards the bottom edge. Okay, so just keep working it down. You know, just slowly but surely. You know, you don't have to be in a hurry. And what I'm doing is I'm using my fingers. I spread my fingers out and I kind of make the fingers into smaller lines so we can go in and we can shrink them. So I'm dragging my fingers down, spread my fingers out, and I'm dragging them down as I'm heating it. Then, once we get it shrunk down to a certain point, we can start pushing it down. Just keep working it down towards the bottom. Now at this point I'm using the side of my hand, this side right here, to just kind of push it down like that. And you can see that we've got this corner pretty well done here. It's pretty well done on this corner. Just touch up any spots that lift. You can run your heat gun along the bottom, and if spots start to lift up, you can go ahead and hit those again. All right. I put this on my back because I don't like to drag it on the car. So I try to wrap the cord around my back when I'm heat shrinking. I don't want it to, sometimes it'll mark the paint. So we'll get this top corner, same way we did the bottom. I'm just spread my fingers out like this and drag the finger up like that and just heat it. Just get some heat on there. You can see I'm about 2 to 3 inches away from the film with the heat gun. I've got it on high. You could shrink it on low if you wanted to. If you're worried about burning the film, you could put your heat gun on low. It'll still shrink. It'll just take a lot longer, but you're less likely to burn the film. You know, if you're a beginner, you might want to do that. You know, I can shrink it on low like this. It's just going to take me a lot longer to do it. You still get plenty of heat. So I'll go ahead and just finish it off on high. I'm just kind of using my fingers to push up on it like at this point. Basically, once the film is laying flat against the glass, you know, you're pretty well done with that section. You can move on to a different section. And it takes a little time to get used to the touch of it, but you can get it, and you know, it's just a matter of not getting too much heat in one spot to melt the film or something like that. Okay. All right. So this side's pretty well done. Let's move on to the next side. Okay, see the bottom's pretty well done here, and we'll just run the heat gun over it. and see if anything pops up. If it does, we'll just heat it down. All right, so we got that. All right. We got a little bit of a curl around this brake light, but I think when we put that in, it's not going to be a problem. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so basically that's it. That's how you heat shrink the back window. You know, it takes a little time, but just be patient with it. Don't leave your heat gun in one spot too long, you'll melt the film. So the next step is to go ahead and clean the back window. Now normally I would leave the film on the back window on the outside here and then go in and clean it, but so I can show you how I clean it, I'll go ahead and take the film off and then we'll put it back on here when we're done cleaning, and I'll show you how to peel the liner and roll it up and get it ready to install. Okay? All right, so we'll go ahead and clean the bounce off of the back window. We'll just use some water and slip solution to get that clean. We'll use some shop towels, clean that up. Okay. All right, outside's pretty clean, at least we can kind of see what we're doing here. Now when you're out here, you might want to take a look and if there's anything obvious inside that you're going to have to get when you go in there to clean the window, you know, you want to look at that now, because this area is kind of hard to see when you're inside. So it's a good thing to look at it from out here. And if there's anything you notice, you'll be able to get it when you go in there. This one actually looks pretty clean. Okay, so I'll go inside and go ahead and I'll show you how to clean the inside. Just want to use some mounting solution just like we do for everything else. Just spray it on there real good. Okay, and then remember we said that we're going to use a white scrubby instead of a blade to clean this, and we just go in and start cleaning. Just put some pressure on it, you know, and you'll feel if there's anything on there, you might feel it as you're coming across. Just get one section at a time, like that. I can already see I had a bug fall out of there, a little ladybug, dead ladybug in there. Okay. All right, just make sure you get the whole window. It's a good thing to take your time to do this. Just make sure you get it good and clean. Once you put the film on, if there was something in there, it's a little late at that point. You may be able to get it, but if it's in the bottom, it's going to be very difficult to get it out. So a lot of times cars have dog hair, human hair, dead bugs, you know, a lot of different things can be back in the bottom of the back window. So this is where I use a slammer. Remember the slammer? This is the tool that I showed you earlier. So what I'll do is I take that and I put it behind my white pad, and I'll use that to go in and get the bottom real good. And then I can also use it to kind of wipe across the window one more time with the white scrub pad. And I'll just flip it over and do the other side. Okay. So that's looking pretty clean there. Okay, now we can just use some shop towels to wipe that down. All right, again, I'm going to go ahead and use the slammer tool to just kind of wipe across, and we'll just try to wipe everything to the sides. See, this is a good tool to get all the way down in the bottom. All right, now we've got that pretty clean. One step left, and that's the final clean. And we'll go ahead and use the microfiber to do that. Some folks use a squeegee. I prefer a good quality microfiber to do this. I showed that in one of my other videos. So I'll just take it and I wrap the tool with the microfiber like this. I just have the tool inside there. I just wrap it up and have it the edge right here, and I'll just go ahead and push it across. Okay, we'll just push everything over to the sides, so any dirt or anything will be on the side. Let me get this spot right here. All right, like that, and then we'll come over and do the other side like this. Okay. All right, and that's how you get the back window clean. Okay, so I'll come out there and we'll go ahead and get the film set back up, and I'll show you how to peel the liner and get it ready to install in the car. All right, so now we're ready to go ahead and get this film set up to install it. We're going to go ahead and pull the liner. I usually do that here on the back window, so I went ahead and put the film back on here so I can show you how I do that. So basically what we're going to do is go ahead and just wet it down, okay, and then we'll peel the liner back. Again, we cut our film patterns, we leave a little bit extra liner on the outside, so it's easier to do that. It's easier to pull the liner on it, so we'll just pull this back. Pull it almost halfway, about right there, okay? And then go ahead and get that wet. Wet that down real good. All right. And we'll go ahead and set the liner back down, okay? Come around to the other side. All right, almost halfway. Okay, get it wet. All right, set it back down. All right, okay, so in one of my other videos I showed you the reverse roll method. That's the method I always use for back windows. Even pickup back windows, it's the same thing. There's a couple different ways you can do it. There's everybody kind of has their own way to do it. This is the way I do it. I find this the easiest for me. It's just easier to handle the film this way. So I'll go ahead and show you that. What we'll do is we'll just take the film and we'll just start rolling it up. Now we're rolling it this way, so reverse roll. Okay, the liner is going to be inside, and we'll just roll it up just like this. You can go ahead and just drag it over, finish rolling it. A little bit more, there we go. Okay, now for reference, we need to remember this is the top, and when we start unrolling, we're going to start unrolling from the driver's side, because this is where we're going to end up with our reverse roll. Okay, so we start with the driver's side, and just remember that this is the top. Okay, you don't want to roll it and then get mixed up and put it in upside down. okay, which I've done, okay? You don't want to do that. All right, so we'll just give this a wipe, kind of clean it up a little bit. Okay, now we're ready to install the film. Okay, so we're in the back seat here. I know it's very tight and it's probably very difficult for you to see, but I thought it would be better to do it from in here than to try and show you from the outside. So we'll do it that way. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and get plenty of mounting solution on the back glass, on the inside of the back glass here. All right, just kind of start at the top and work your way down. I like to get a lot on there, so that way we can move the film around if we have to. Just get it good and wet. All right. Don't forget about the top. I'm gonna get that wet too. All right, so we've got the back glass pretty wet with mounting solution, and we're ready to start unrolling the film onto the back glass. Okay, so remember we said we were going to start from the driver's side. So here I have the film rolled, and we did the reverse roll, so we're just going to start unrolling the film. All right, and we can go about that far, and we can go ahead and place it up on there. And we're not going to be able to put it all the way to the bottom yet because we have to unroll it, but we can kind of get it set up on the edge here and just kind of hold it there and start unrolling. Let's see, this really takes two hands to do this. So you just kind of have to take your time with it and come across. You see, we can set that down there. So I'm just keep unrolling and kind of keeping the film in a position where it's going to be easy to get it in place once we get it unrolled all the way. Try to get it as close to the bottom as I can. All right, so I think we've got that pretty well there. All right, so at this point, the liner is on the back side of the film, okay? So since we reverse rolled it, that's the way this works. So we'll go ahead and pull that liner off, and that'll get that out of our way. And just be careful at the end here. This is where you can damage the film a little bit. All right, so we got the film on the back glass, got the liner off. All we have to do is just get it slid into place at this point, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna slide it into place. What I'm looking at for reference is the bottom of the back window. And I just wanna make sure there's no gaps back there. Looks like we need to go over to the driver's side a little bit here and then up. We should be pretty good. And just check the top. Top looks good. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. I'll just move this a little bit more. Okay, so we've made it that far. Okay, so we're doing pretty good. Basically, the only thing left to do is squeegee it out, and I'll show you how to do that. We'll just spray more mounting solution on there. All right, so we're just gonna squeegee it up to the top in the middle here, and then we'll go to each side all the way across in the center. And then I just keep going, and I try to get the bottom the best that I can. Now I can't reach all the way down with this squeegee, but I'll go down as far as I can with it, trying to push out as much water as it'll let me. Okay, so we'll have to leave the bottom like that for now, and we'll go ahead and finish the top up. So you just keep pushing it up towards the top. This part we can come in and get it like this. All right, so we're pretty good there. I'm gonna do the other side. All right. Good. All right, so we're in, we're squeegee down pretty well. We'll go ahead and hit it one more time with this squeegee just to make sure we can get some more water out. This time I'm using a little bit more pressure
because the film is already pretty flat and there's not much risk of creasing it at this point. So we'll give it a good hit with this handled squeegee. All right, excellent. Now, we're going to go back and use our slammer again. This time, I'm going to wrap it with a shop towel, and we're going to go ahead and finish off that bottom. So this will reach way down in there, and just be careful as you're coming across, because we still have a few bubbles down there. And we'll just get that to lay down in there. All right. Good. All right, other side. Perfect. All right, and since we have this tool with the paper towel on it, we'll go ahead and hit the rest of the window with it one more time. Just like we did with the handle squeegee, we'll just come across. And this will kind of dry up any excess mounting solution that we have on there, plus push the water out. All right, just like that. Okay, other side, same thing. All right, and I think that's it. So what we'll do is we'll go outside and we'll take a look and we'll see if there's any spots that need any extra attention. All right, so we've got our back window tinted. We'll clean it up and see how it looks. I know there's a lot of reflection from the lights here. I apologize for that, but I need a lot of light to be able to do this. So unfortunately, we'll have to just deal with that. But overall, it looks really good. I don't see any spots at this point that need to be touched up. I think we're pretty good here. We may need to just go over and clean it real good once we're done. But before you clean the inside of this, go ahead and give it some time to set up real good. You don't want to be inside wiping the window and mess up the tint because it's not quite set down yet. All right, so give it some time to set up. Maybe go tint another window or whatever. Go take a break, get some lunch or whatever, and then come back and clean it. It'll be much better to do that. And then when you do clean it, you want to use a soft cloth and don't use a lot of pressure, just very light pressure when you're cleaning the inside. Okay, so that's it for our back window. Remember, make sure you have the right tools, okay, and use that reverse roll method. It works real well, especially for back windows that are very tight and hard to get to. It keeps the tint very clean. You can see this one came out really clean. So that's all for now. Thanks.